I'm gonna discuss as much as I can. You're gonna hit me with some questions and I won't be able to answer. So I think the easiest way to just start this is to go back to 1942. For whatever reason, I was selected by some people in the Navy, Naval Intelligence, to essentially be assigned a program to discuss the U.S. Navy secret space operators who have been operating in Germany, trying to understand the tremendously complicated agreement between the SS and the Draco reptilian group who were assisting Germany. So this had actually gotten started much earlier with a very lovely young lady in Germany who was contacted by Nordic people to essentially get her friends to develop the necessary requirements to build a large space transport, get their friends and the family to join into this, and essentially leave the planet and go to another star's planetary system.
And this is Maria Orsich.
That's correct. And so she actually was doing this from like the late 20s, 1930s. This young lady that we're talking about had been contacted by Nordic people to help her get an organization together with a great deal of extraterrestrial assistance to design a propulsion system, design a vehicle large enough to carry 50,000 people, get in this vehicle and leave the planet. Now the SS was not aware of this. When they found out about this, they took over a group of 1,442 people, which included scientists, it included shoe salesmen, it included farmers, it included top research technicians. All these people were contacted by the Nordic extraterrestrials to assist people in Germany to get a vehicle built. So now we have a whole lot of civilians, nothing to do with the military, and with absolutely no desire to have the military involved in this extraterrestrial event. Okay? Real important. When the SS found out what they were doing, they took over everything that she had structured and organized, all 1,443 people. They had been hawking their farms. They had been getting everything they could possibly get in the way of money to design and build massive size spacecraft transports. That's not what the SS wanted. So they took over this facility and they jumped in and grabbed everything. After only 2 months, Hitler made the decision, let her and her organization go ahead with what they're doing. We're going to be working with the Draco reptilian group. So now we have two groups that we can get, and we can cut into them anytime we want. We can take it over again anytime that it was necessary. So actually, they allowed the second time for this group to design and build these spacecraft transports, with which many of them later on, even during the war and after the war, to leave the planet. Some of them went out and came back. They actually had large facilities that they utilized as in underground facilities in Antarctica. The Draco reptilian people had two enormous caverns, and I don't want to get off into that subject now. We can talk about it later. but there are caverns all over this planet which different extraterrestrial civilizations have been using, okay, for thousands of years. You're trying to decipher, you're trying to understand not just other extraterrestrial people information, but everything that you're getting is totally unreal to every single PhD on the planet. I have to say, people don't realize what took place in 1942. We're going to have to step back our thinking here to the people on this planet. They don't know there's extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
They don't know that there's not just one of them. Maybe we've got thousands. Maybe we got billions of extraterrestrial. The latest number, just recently, we doubled the number again. We now have 200 trillion galaxies out there. And to say that we're the only intelligent people in this universe is naive. But the people on this planet were tremendously naive. They had no idea. Every PhD on this planet, whether they're for science or for medicine, have been given incorrect information for thousands of years about the history of this, not just this galaxy, the universe. They had been given information which was controlled by Draco, Reptilian, and other extraterrestrials not to know what was really going on. So every book in every university on this planet had misinformation about every field, every technical field you can come up with, okay?
Yeah.
And now for news of our own West Coast, we take you to Los Angeles and the report of Byron Palmer.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning. The anti-aircraft guns began barking during a blackout ordered by the 4th Interceptor Command at 2:25 a.m.
February 25th marks an anniversary that few remember and some refuse to forget. In 1942, an unidentified object was seen hovering over the California coast. The military, poised to defend the coast from a foreign invasion, took aim and fired. The event, called the Battle of Los Angeles, made headlines. What was in the sky and where did it go?
Watchers on the rooftop of the Columbia Broadcasting Building in the heart of Hollywood could plainly see the flashes of guns and searchlights sweeping the skies in a wide arc along the coastal area. Concussion of the shells could be felt in downtown Los Angeles, 15 miles away.
Filmmaker and UFO researcher Jose Escamilla highlights the events of that night.
What happened at 2 in the morning, some objects entered into our airspace. One of them hovered right over Santa Monica and Culver City. Some described it as a round, dome-shaped object that was about 100 feet diameter. Some of them said it was a little smaller. But the unique thing about it is the military, the Army, started firing at this thing for about an hour, hour and a half, but they could not bring the object down.
By 3:30 a.m., observers said the object appeared to be over the south of Long Beach. Searchlights closely followed the object down the coast and kept it centered in their glare. Shells frequently could be seen bursting near the object, but none appeared to hit it.
When the Army declared the flying object a weather balloon, sparking theories of a government cover-up.
If they can't bring down a weather balloon with over 1,500 rounds of anti-aircraft shrapnel, 12-pound weaponry, what are they going to do against a real enemy target? That's what they decided. What do? Do we tell the American and the world public There is something among us that we cannot bring down, we cannot control. We don't know where they're from, and we don't know what they're doing here. No, they didn't want to say that. So the next best thing to do was to just officially deny their existence. That's when the first official denial on UFOs started.
So what did happen that February night? The government stands by its claim that it was a weather balloon, but skeptics still say it was the first in a long line of UFO cover-ups. For MSNBC.com, I'm Dara Brown.
So we get up, we go out to the deck, and here's this spot, a little spot, okay, just above the trees and just above the rooftops, okay, of the houses that prevent us to see the ocean from this area.
Okay.
So we're standing there looking at this, and all of a sudden, out of this spot of light came a little beam, and it went like that, sort of about that 60 degrees. And we watched that. Then this beam went straight like this, hit the back of the house, lit up all of the trees, lit up the back, the roofs of all the houses, everything was lit up. And we went back, hit the wall, and then go forward and grab the railing, okay? It was gone. At about 1:30 that night, all of the anti-aircraft guns started firing. We get up, we run outside, and we look at this great big thing. At arm's length, it was that big. It was parked at about 8,000 feet. There was 8 searchlights on the bottom of this vehicle. Bang, bang, bang. All these shells were bursting on the bottom of this vehicle on a continuous basis for an hour and 30 minutes. Just parked right there. Now, all around it, above it, different vehicles were coming.
The Battle of LA you're describing.
This is the Battle of Los Angeles. You have to visualize dozens and dozens and dozens of different shaped vehicles. This great big one parked right above you, right over Long Beach, okay? Everybody is outside looking at this and watching it. We finally, there's vehicles going on both sides of it, there's vehicles above it, and several times, actually the vehicle went underneath and the anti-aircraft gun lights, the search lights, shined on them and followed them. So this goes on till about 2:30. Now, on the other side of your planet, at this same time, the Germans were bombing London.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Holy cats, this is February 1942.
During a blackout ordered by the
I want to make a very important point about this, the Los Angeles event, the sighting.
Okay.
The only people that were killed in this were from our own shrapnel. The shells burst on the bottom of them. They're not bursting on the bottom. There's an electromagnetic shield that the shell hits and it blows up, but it doesn't do any damage. Oh, extraterrestrials. No cover-up. They're real.
Bye.